This program is sponsored by Reebok and Amstel, UEFA Champions League sponsors.
Tonight, the big one, Rangers Borussia Dortmund. Both sides lost their opening match a fortnight ago. Both sides have to win tonight. The loser can virtually kiss goodbye to a place in the quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions Cup. Good evening and welcome. We have the whole of Rangers Dortmund coming up live in a couple of moments. With me here in the studio, two men who've made it in Europe. Former Manchester United, AC Milan and Scotland striker Joe Jordan, now managing Bristol City. And a man who conquered Europe with Aberdeen, Motherwell manager Alex McLeish. Joe, Rangers must win. Can they do it?
Well, I don't think we need to emphasise it. The fact that both teams are going into tonight's game, no points, and to come out of tonight's game with no points, I think that would be a big stumbling block for the future in the league. The team, and we talk about Rangers, they've got to win it tonight.
They must win it. Alex, the good news is from Ibrox, Gough is in. He plays from the start. Now that's good.
That's the best possible news for the Rangers fans and, in fact, the Rangers team, because he's such a huge influence on the side, and his form has probably been as good as I've ever seen it at the start of this season.
Yeah, and McCall's in as well. Again, good news.
Yeah, but it's another vital cog in the wheel, and McCall's proved over the years that he's been a good player for Rangers. He gets about people, he hustles them, and if you remember back to the last good run Rangers had in the Champions League, McCall was a very vital performer for them.
Yes, indeed. But Joe, the Germans, no doubt, will be hungry.
Yes, they're hungry, but as Alex has mentioned about Richard Gough, it's not just the fact that the way that he's playing, I think he's been playing extremely well. I think he's such an inspirational figure, and he has been for so many years. I think that is a boost for the dressing room and also for the support in the stadium.
Yes, indeed. OK, well, we'll take a short break now, but join us again in a couple of minutes for Rangers against Borussia Dortmund in the UEFA Champions League, live and exclusive from Ibrox.
Of tonight's match to both sides after their opening game defeats to Steaua Bucharest and Juventus is obvious, although there will still be 12 points up for grabs following tonight's matches. Defeat or even a draw will leave these clubs with a lot to do. Well, alongside me is Rangers player Trevor Stephen. Quite an atmosphere.
Yeah, it's just taken off the last 5 minutes or so. They seem to be getting the bit between the teeth now, the crowd, and realising what a big game it is in front of them tonight. It's not a full house here tonight, but plenty vocal support.
Well, there's the Rangers lineup, and Rangers make 2 changes from the team which lost in Bucharest. Out are suspended Alan McLaren, and Ian Durant is on the bench. In comes Stuart McCall after injury, and Gordon Durie. He starts the game. Well, an interesting lineup. That Stuart McCall will sit in there in midfield and do the job that was so much needing done in Bucharest.
That's right, we need somebody in the middle of the midfield there to put his foot on it and slow the game down for us. And they've got the team up there as a 4-4-2, and I don't think we're going to play that way tonight. We're going to maintain the 3 centre-halves, bringing Stephen Wright into the middle to act as the right centre-half with Richard Gough and Gordon Petric.
Well, Dortmund also have 2 changes after defeat by Juventus, and they brought in Martin Kreh at number 3 and the teenage striker Lars Ricken at number 9. He's a young player, will have to be watched, teenage player, but side packed with experience. Jurgen Kohler, number 2, one of the great defenders in European football, Julio Cesar, the Brazilian, and Matthias Sammer, a former GDR player, another outstanding performer. And Andreas MOLLER is a player who packs a tremendous shot with both feet. So there's the lineup.
Yeah, he's obviously going to be one of the dangers. I'm quite interested to see how RICKEN and HERRLICH play up front, because I've not seen much of them at all. But from their recent games, we know that a team who attack very well, maybe not so good in defence. but they've certainly got plenty of options going forward, and I suppose their goals can come from anywhere on the field.
So we're having a look at the substitutes, and you saw just a moment ago there John Brown, who's now a player coach here on the bench for Rangers tonight, which shows their injury problems. And there's the match referee, Uilenberg, from Holland, 45 years of age, banker to profession. He speaks English and German, as well as French and Spanish, in addition to his native language, so he'll be able to keep monitoring things tonight. And a big night for Brian Laudrup. He's been criticised for not turning it on in European ties for Rangers, and so too has Paul Gascoigne. Well, Laudrup was quoted the other day saying the team must play well before the individuals can perform, but there's no doubt about it. He and Gascoigne cost a lot of money. They were brought here to play in this kind of game, and the crowd expects a big noisy crowd here at Ibrox Stadium. And we're joined again tonight by our friends from all across Ulster and beyond. You're all very welcome to Ibrox Stadium for this UEFA Champions League match. So Rangers have played German clubs on 17 previous occasions. They've won 8 ties in aggregate. They've lost 8 ties in aggregate, and they also lost the Cup Winners' Cup final to Bayern Munich in 1967. But a long history of playing against German clubs. So we're underway. It's an early touch for Gascoigne, through to Laudrup. There should be a determination about Rangers tonight. They were disappointing last season against Athens in the 2 games, disappointing against the Northuses, the Cypriot side, in the 2 games this season in the qualifying tie, and highly disappointing in Bucharest. So they know they owe it to their supporters, who have paid a lot of money for the seats here tonight. They really do owe them a performance, and they owe their manager a performance. There's a touch for Clellan to Petric. So as Trevor pointed out, Gough, Petric and Wright are the 3 back players. McCall is anchored in there, you can see him, number 5. And this is Charlie Miller. And Borussia Dortmund are a team who like to get forward at every opportunity, and they will certainly test that Rangers defence tonight. They've been losing goals, but they've been scoring a lot as well. And there's a man who'll want to get on the score sheet tonight, Ali McCoist. He's never scored in the Champions League, and that's something that certainly rankles with him. But he does have 12 European goals. It's a Rangers record he shares with Ralph Brand, and he's desperate to land goal number 13. That ball bricks away from Wright. It's picked up by Moller. This is Cray. Moller again. And the referee awarding the free kick against Rangers. The challenge there on Lars Ricken. Stuart McCall making his presence felt. And Gordon Petric also going in there. So this one's a fair distance out. But so many of these players strike a magnificent ball. It's Sammer playing it through and pushing forward. Breaking away from his defensive role. And the decision goes Dortmund's way. So it's Stefan Franz. A long throw from him, headed away by Petric. This is Laudrup. Quickly closed down and well challenged. It's Moller. Here comes Gascoigne, does well. That's McCoist. DURIE. McCoist is running ahead of him. He needs some support here. Gets it now from Laudrup. It's kept in play by Cesar. Slip again by Stephen Wright. He's having trouble with his footing early on. That's Laudrup. Both teams really going at one another, and this time Rangers have the free kick. It's Gascoigne. wins that one. Charlie Miller. Well, there seems to be a bit of a push on Alec Cleland there, but the referee allows play to go on. And that's Rangers' ball.
Still a bit it's tentative in the early stages here, Jerry, but we started off playing a bit of keep possession stuff, which was nice to see. It's more than we've done in previous games, so we need more of that.
And this is Charlie Miller providing it. Miller again getting a touch. Gordon DURIE challenges, but that's a free kick against them. Well, good play by Charlie Miller on the left-hand side of the field, getting the ball into the middle, showing persistence.
We're playing with Gordon DURIE out there on the right-hand side, but he'll obviously have the licence to get forward unless he's pushed back by one of their players on the left-hand side. But we'll need Gordon to get in and support Ali McCoist on that right-hand side as much as he possibly can. There's going to be a lot of running involved for him tonight.
Headed away by GOUGH, picked up by McCall. This is Miller. Leaves it to LAUDRUP, who's being chased there by Fround. Gascoigne. Miller. Cleland raced ahead of him, but he plays it infield. So 5 minutes gone here at Ibrox Stadium. Still no scoring. It's McCall pushing forward. The offside flag goes up though. On the far side, Alec Cleland was breaking forward, the former Dundee United player. Samar, headed away by Petric, getting in there just ahead of HERRLICH. Now it's Cleland. Miller. And McCoist up there, very much on his own, but Rangers trying to push players forward in support. This is HERRLICH. There by Reuter. Touch on by Zott. Now it's Muller. And this is RICKEN. Well challenged though.
That was a great tackle there by Stephen Wright, but I think we saw there, just in that bit of a movement there from the German side, you know how quick they do break and get themselves into good offensive positions. So you've got to be careful not to give the ball away in the midfield area. So far we haven't really done that, but you know we must be careful over the piece of the game.
It's LAUDRUP. Round with him all the way. So it's LAUDRUP trying to find that opening. And he gets the corner kick. Well, Stefan Fround slid into the challenge. I think the ball just come off the toe of his boot. But LAUDRUP looking fired up for the occasion. And he's leaving the corner kick to Gascoigne. And there's GOUGH moving forward, being watched by Julio Cesar. Well, Dortmund have put support with him, just behind Gascoigne. Who delivers the cross. There's DURIE going in for that one. It's LAUDRUP. Gascoigne. Getting it through to Cleland. He's blocked though by Samar. And the offside flag is up as Stephen Wright floats that one in. So Paul Gascoigne playing his fourth European tie for Rangers tonight. This is Samar. Right. Reuter plays it through. Then comes Petric. Well, both sides showing a willingness to get on with things. Free kicks and throw-ins been taken quickly. And that one from Samar, going well wide of target. Well, 57 caps he has for Germany, some with the GDR in the earlier days. Archie Knox just in front of the Rangers substitutes, and Walter Smith suspect he's still in the main stand. So Walter Smith's first ever signing, and they got him. Going forward, DURIE looks well. This is Cesar. It's GOUGH. DURIE. LAUDRUP in his free roll again. This time he's up on the right hand side, but surrounded by Dortmund players. It's cut out by Cesar. Sammer. This is Jürgen Koller. Cesar again. Dortmund holding possession here. So for RICKEN, he's challenged by Petric. Still Dortmund have it. That was MOLLER playing it through to Sammer, who's pushing forward again. The Germans enjoying possession. It's Rauter playing it in field and going for the return. Cleland goes with him. It's in a decent cross-up. And it's DURIE almost caught. A touch by GOUGH. It's DURIE again. This is Gascoigne. Chance on for Rangers now to break. Charlie Miller, LAUDRUP stays left. DURIE's in the middle, McCoy's arriving the far side of the box. Still it's LAUDRUP. And that goes behind for the goal kick. The ball deflected off the Danish player as he tried to deliver the cross. So 10 minutes played here at Ibrox Stadium, still no scoring.
So the game's pretty well open really, and both sides are getting the opportunity to go at each other. A bit unfortunate there. I thought Brown would have had the beating of there, just didn't quite get that yard on him to get the ball in. But again, both sides seem to be able to break on each other quite easily, and that obviously leads to goals, and I think we're going to see some tonight.
Well, Stefan Rauter, who played alongside Brian LAUDRUP at Bayern Munich, told Jim White in an interview in Dortmund recently that LAUDRUP won his game is as good as Maradona. Well, that's certainly something to live up to. But if LAUDRUP can turn it on tonight, fans will be well pleased.
That's the sort of position though that Brian LAUDRUP excels at. You know, when he gets that ball wide and he's running at the fullback. I mean, you put money on him getting past the majority of defenders.
There's a long ball through now looking for Charlie Miller, but Cesar was there. This is Reuter. That's Cray.
We're allowing them to have the ball, Jerry, you know, without... we're conserving energy, really, you know, to be quite honest at the moment. We're not threatening the ball unless it's there to be threatened. And we're quite happy for them to have possession in these areas of the park. So, you know, you've got to be patient. I think that's one of the important things about European football.
Well, Cleland did well to nip in there just ahead of Michael Zorc. It's out for the throw to Dortmund. Well, Dortmund lost their first two meetings with Scottish clubs, both times to Rangers in 1966 and 82. But since then, they've beaten Celtic twice, in 1987 and 92, and they defeated Motherwell last year. So they've had the upper hand in the recent exchanges. And the policy has been to spend a lot of money these past 3 years or so. And they came second in the championship in 1992, and embarked on a policy of going out and buying the very best. And they brought a number of players back from Italian football. Here come Rangers now, it's McCall. Put up by Reuter. This is Cesar, under pressure from McCall. He does well though. That's Gascoigne coming across to send the ball out of play. Well, the referee's having a word with Cleland as Gascoigne moves away. And in fact he's awarded a free kick against the Rangers fullback. Just a word of warning for him. There isn't an awful lot in it. Reuter plays it across to Julio Cesar. Onward now for HERRLICH to chase, but too much for him. The Rangers have the throw. Well, you just wonder about the fitness tonight of the likes of Richard Gough and Stuart McCall, who have been battling against injury. And
I think particularly for Stuart McCall tonight, it's a really big game. He's not played a competitive game now for something like 3 or 4 weeks, and this is an almighty game for him to come back and play in. Well, obviously the manager has a lot of confidence in him to do the job tonight. We also have one eye on the fact that he might not be able to make the 90 minutes, and we've got Ian Ferguson there on the bench who can obviously replace Stuart if there comes a time when he's feeling a bit tired in the game.
He's sitting in an area of the field where there's no hiding place. So it's played by Cesar. Reuter, got it by Charlie Miller. Off Cleland, and it's Dortmund's ball. Cesar with the switch of play to Prey. And the Germans knock it about. This is Kohler to Reuter. Cut out by Gough. So 15 minutes gone, and there's still no scoring here at Ibrox Stadium in this UEFA Champions League match. This is LAUDRUP. And completely taken out of the play by Matthias Sammer. No word of warning for the German player. He strolled away from that incident. Rangers have the free kick. And Richard Gough has moved to the edge of the area. So it's left to Gascoigne. Gough signalling for it. Gordon Dury's tucked in just behind him. So Gough climbing now, gets the touch, but free kick is awarded against the Rangers skipper. Richard Gough into his 9th season now with Rangers. 7 consecutive Premier League medals. 61 Scotland caps. And along with Andy Gorham, ever present in the Rangers side this season. Tonight his 10th consecutive appearance. So, by Petric. DURIE, Gascoigne. It's a return from Gough. It's Cleland. McCoist runs ahead of him, and then McCoist pulled out of the run. The Rangers have made a far better start than they made in the previous match, and they're holding possession when it matters.
There's obviously a distinct difference between this game and the last. We've been the home team on this occasion, Jerry, and it's up to us to make the running.
And that was Cleland making the running, and he's won the throw-in. He did well initially to keep that ball in play. Nice little turn by LAUDRUP, and again he's surrounded. Back to Petric. Well, he's a player who does pack a powerful shot. Just a trifle ambitious there, but why not have a pot at goal?
Gordon's not short on confidence, and if he gets the opportunity, he will let fly. We have seen him in the past, hit shots from that sort of range and hit the target. So it's well worth the try.
It's a free kick against Gascoigne for his challenge on Michael Zott, the Dortmund captain. It's Andreas Muller. This is Freund. Reuter goes on the outside. Getting it to get a good quality cross. That's a superb goal. HERRLICH opens the scoring with 18 minutes gone. Reuter provided the cross, and HERRLICH rose without much effort and picked his spot beyond Andy Gorham. That's a real blow for Rangers. Reuter with the cross. Look at the space he had. The right tried to close in on him, but HEIKO HERRLICH, who cost £4.2 million at the summer, starts to pay back the transfer money. He scored 22 goals last season for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and you can see that the threat he carries. But again, the Rangers defence must have a look at themselves. So Rangers 0, Borussia Dortmund 1. The Rangers have just got to get themselves right back into this game as quickly as possible. And the one good thing about the Champions League is you don't have to worry about conceding home goals as long as you can score more. The away goals rule doesn't count at this stage. But really Rangers have it all to do now. A real test of character. That was Petric going in on that one, and the referee signals the goal kick. So Gordon Petric, who cost £1.5 million at the summer from Dundee United, getting in there. But there's another look at the goal.
It really was a fantastic cross from Reuter, but he was allowed far too much room really to get that ball in. And not only did he have the room, but the centre forward HERRLICH had the room as well in the middle of the goals. And a player of his quality will not miss from there. It's the worst possible start that we could have had, but as you say, it's not all about goals against here. It's about actually winning games, you know. So we've just got to go ahead and try and get back into this game as soon as possible.
So just over 20 minutes played at Ibrox Stadium. It's Rangers 0, Borussia Dortmund 1. HERRLICH the scorer. And there was an indication or two before that from Reuter. He got in a few crosses, but this is LAUDRUP now. McCoyce is the only Ranger in the middle. And to have the throw-in just in line with the penalty area. DURIE who delivers it. Gough's moved well forward. It's Gough again! And Kloss makes an excellent save. Well, the Rangers skipper leading by example. Now remember the night against Leeds United here when Gary McAllister scored early on. Gough practically went to centre forward until Rangers equalised. And he was right up there again for that throw-in and brought out a good save from Stefan Kloss. So it's Gascoigne with the corner. There's Sammer getting it away. This is Cleland. And right into the hands of Stefan Kloss, the 24-year-old Dortmund keeper. He's been a regular now for the last 3 years or so.
We need to try and make more of the set pieces, better use of them than we've done so far. We've had 2 or 3 corners which we've not really threatened from, 1 or 2 free kicks as well. And we need to try and pick out Richard Gough and try and get him getting efforts on goal.
This is DURIE. Very strongly challenged by Craig.
I think we just need to keep playing the same sort of way as we did in the first 10 minutes and not become too impatient and try and get opportunities to arise in that manner.
So we're now midway through the first half at Ibrox Stadium. Rangers are trailing by 1-0. This is McCall in possession, trying to find LAUDRUP. He's strongly challenged in the background. Rangers have it again though, through Cleland. McCall challenged well there. Again, it's Gough pushing.